Back to Honkai Star Rail yet again. So we're back to our usual schedule this week. No Star Rail multi-days, because we finished the
This
main
will be the
patch.
only time you see Star Rail this week.
Yes. Thank you, Goliath, for the commentary. But yeah, so today we're going to do the memory book. We're going to do a bit of the event. Like, we're going to do a bit of Star Rail World. We're going to do a bit of the Seal Slammers if we can get to it. We're going to just check it all out. So, yeah.
Or maybe the book will take the entire stream. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I'll take the 15 Jades, though.
Alright, let us
Great
go.
story.
How many things will fill up this time?
Well, there's 2 of these to go, so...
Well, we also got another set beforehand, too.
Yeah, so I've got 3 cards here. Who do you want to start with first? Anaxa, Castris, or what do you want to start with?
Well, we already have part of Castris. Yeah.
I believe...
Well, actually, no. So we did Anaxa.
Let me
we
check.
did Castris, so we don't have Hyacinths at all.
Yeah. We don't have... Yeah, let's do Hyacinth. We don't have Hyacinth yet.
I'm looking at it. Trivios isn't done either.
No.
That's interesting.
She might be in the next one, though. Confirmed.
Alright, let us see. In the courtyard.
Hyacinthia.
Wait, actually, that reminds me. Which one of us is actually doing the speaking?
You can.
Thanks.
You've been nominated.
I'll read some of it, too.
Rustling wind plays a melody as the girl looks over this courtyard petite and exhales, gently dispersing the palm-held blessings. The entire yard is lit softly, like a dandelion bathed in sunlight.
Is this courtyard a tad too small?
It's okay, Clementine. As long as it provides warmth plenty.
The girl makes the courtyard tidy, and in the Evernight lands outside the holy city, there is now a light curing souls' maladies. The girl's skills can bring forth miracles, but today she welcomes a patient quite special.
Excuse me, sorry.
Welcome to the Twilight Courtyard. How can I help you?
The gravelly patient shakes their head. The end times are coming!
Doing it.
And we all wander more and more. Oh, you may heal our wounds, but you cannot cure despair.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch me! The girl watches the patient leave, her heart swells in sorrow.
Clementine, prepare some things of me. I want this place to be brighter tomorrow.
It will blind us all.
You won't be in despair if you can't fucking see!
You can't be in despair if a nuke goes off. You won't exist anymore. Everyone will go reunite with Castris at that point. And Tribby.
The red-haired child takes the girl's hands.
Long time no see, Hyacinth. Are you here in Akama for a visit, or do you need help from us?
The girl recounts her needs.
I want some shining things, even if they're considered junk.
Especially
you
if they're
a
considered
bird?
junk. Then I don't have to fight anybody over them.
Multicolored paper bags, crystal clear glass, cottons variously dyed, and jingling wind chimes. The girl brings them back to the courtyard and spares no effort to decorate all around. And when some fireflies wander in, the girl is all smiles and said, I shall set the seas ablaze!
For your light.
Oh, sorry, hold on, I read that wrong.
No, you didn't.
The patient returns here and opens their eyes wide. And there's a sea of fire, multicolored dreams on the rooftop now reside, and the lawns contain the sweet whispers of sunlight. A soft breeze passes with no hint of cold, only serving to wake the playful chimes and ocarinas of delight.
I mean, to be fair, Daniel, we did see an avatar that fire can be multicolored. It was every color when they met the dragons.
I've also seen in real life that fire can be
Yes, I've
multicolored.
seen red and blue. And also, I've seen
red,
stars.
blue, orange. I've seen green on occasion.
How hot is green fire?
It's not so much about the temperature, but depending on what you're burning.
Oh,
it just-
yeah.
It's like in Apothecary Diaries.
Oh, yeah, true.
Wow. There's light everywhere. What a warm place.
There's light everywhere. It's Discord light mode.
Oh,
The
God.
news is soon spread by the grove, and people with empty hearts visit in droves. The girl prepares candies and teas and listens to every visitor's complaints.
No, Dan, it's not Discord light mode. It's opening a Hoyoverse game.
It's Genshin
People
Light
say
It
there
is,
was
yeah.
once a star called the sun in the sky, but now that star is no longer there. People say that Aquila took away the world's light, but they still left behind a heart bright to illuminate this happy dream in the night.
mode. To eliminate, yes.
Aquila-
Why is this happy dream underlined?
They just keep on putting those horizontal rules.
Are they?
They've had a few.
Well, yeah, but usually those are
Red.
oh no, maybe that's the chapter and that's what it is. Like the blizzards in the month of morning doth calamity fall, burying warmth and dawn's calls. Orderless tides swell up the grove of reason, and that tiny healing haven is also extinguished, broken and barren. When the girl far from home hears of such grave news, the wind brings to her a moment of confusion, but it also evaporates the tears that briefly sparkle into being, and the girl still smiles bright and happy.
The
So
Castrus
she's
is
being
basically taking it up on the
corrupted by
chin.
happy. She's being corrupted by happiness.
Alright. No, it seems like Castrus is just trying to just put it out of her mind for now. Oh, wait. Have we heard her prophesying how she's supposed to die yet?
No, but she was one of the ones that was listed as some will lose everything, I think.
I mean,
Or it's either she will lose her life like Anaxa, or she will lose everything. And I'm pretty sure that some will lose everything was Mighty, so she's probably just gonna die.
he's gonna get stabbed by the Flame Reaver.
I mean, she did get stabbed by a bunch of arrows.
That is true. This place sucks. Fuck Flame Chase.
Soon, the people of Akama see once again the girl collecting more pieces and tokens, wanting to rebuild that pure haven.
Yeah, Daniel, I'm starting to understand why you're depressed a lot when you think about HI3 and the Flame Chase journey and that.
Well, that one's
Different.
somehow worse.
But he never
Well,
realized
only
that
3-2.
wherever she stood, she herself was that holy courtyard, that light-filled haven.
I'm assuming
She
that's
is
probably
literally
her
a
idol.
disco ball.
I'm assuming that's her idol. I haven't seen that yet.
Probably.
But that's
But
probably
also,
her
if she
idol.
just spins around and she just is a fucking a disco ball,
It's just like a Herda doll.
gives
It's just
off-
like a Herda doll. She spins
No,
like that.
she spins like that, yeah, but she also just gives off multicolored
Just a shitload of light.
whenever she spins around.
It's like that disco ball I had in my bedroom as a kid that I won from Chuck E. Cheese. I would just turn it on, just be disco shit everywhere for no reason. Do you remember that thing that I had? It was like the little handheld one. You just put it on the floor and it would just do disco balls around. And it was like
Actually,
cool for
do now that you explain
2 minutes.
that.
And then we were like, oh, this is annoying.
But yes, Barbara the disco ball.
Ooh. That coloration did not change much.
Nope. Alright. Now it's time for the Anaxa cards.
It. Confirm.
Guard not the broken. Is he the hanged man, actually, now that I'm looking at it?
Let me see.
Oh,
I'll get it. Give me a minute.
so let's see here. Yeah, that's what hangman kind of looks like.
It is, yeah.
Oh, what are the rest of them? Isn't there Emperor, Empress?
No, These are the
If
ones
we-
so far.
Wait, what does Finons look like?
What is whose?
Finons. I could argue that as being the sun or the world. Probably the latter, given how this is.
Why do I keep having to... Whatever.
Because you don't hit the table of contents button?
I hit the back button.
Yeah, there's a table of contents button. Alright. This is a tale buried in history. One day, a student elated in victory dashed around the grove's territory.
I saw the spell the professor carved on his body.
The youth with white hair was beside himself in joy.
It must be a power most secret. A means for one man to stand against 1,000.
Why were you looking at his body, Finon? The spell was rare indeed, for it was a secret way to overturn a cart of hay.
Isn't that from the 3.0 trailer, that screenshot? Because it looks like it. It looks too high quality to be in-game.
I mean, it could be. The scholar was still a mortal body, as yet to snatch life from death, or to afford a new flesh to a god's remedy. Various minute tricks and parody, he studied them all, crafting schemes oh so busy, for everyone knows he wishes not to use a divine power that is his, refusing rightful custody. He's like, bitch, I don't need your divine power, I'll do it myself.
Fuck you. I'm gonna do my own thing. It's like in Spider-Verse, Greg. Yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Danny, you still have not seen any of those movies, have you?
Nope.
Oh, they're so good. They are so good. We need that third one to finish the
And
trilogy.
in that unwitnessed moment of his death, final tragedy,
Witnessed.
he still held that hay cart spell ready, standing alone, facing the evil enemy.
Unwitnessed my ass.
I mean, we didn't see him die. We just know that he died.
Yes.
Now, that craft is regarded as a magnificent study, not because of what it was, but because of its purpose, known to everybody. In fact, he once crafted miracles, forging silent servants using soil as vehicle. Though no sentience, they do their job without obstacles, rivaling Titankin in spectacle. However, one day he suddenly changes his
Creation
tune.
is the Titan's work, and slavery is the Titan's manacle. When imitating divine evil, there's no need to invest reason, most pinnacle.
Apparently, an axe is a rapper. When the servants have all been recycled, he deigns not to explain, fearing to waste his reason or muscle, so he jokingly concludes the questioning with a chuckle.
If it's just for odd jobs, students are a better gamble.
Okay.
That definitely sounds like something an axe would do.
That sounds like
Like, hey,
something
you want
I've
to
heard
finish your
a teacher in
undergrad,
college.
right? You're gonna help me with this.
That sounds like something I heard a teacher say probably at least once in my life at college, I think.
Instead of students, grab some adjunct professors.
No. Even better, grab graduate students who don't actually still have a job yet, but are still hanging out on campus, Greg.
Oh yeah. Tell them, hey, this counts as research work.
Exactly. Yeah, you bait them with it.
It would work on me.
I
I think
know.
I work on a lot of people. The way he addresses himself comes from elsewhere, an imitation of a divine machine with some flair. He happily answers 5 questions to those unaware, knowledge seemingly given with stingy care.
For a wise one, 5 answers reveal creation's secrets, the truth hidden and bold. But a fool learns but not, and is left in the cold. Now,
Oh,
inquire.
yeah, Stephen Fu.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And it is there. That is, in fact, the scholar's crafty snare. He hides the answer he seeks behind questions posed by those unaware, doling breadcrumbs as bait to lure and compare whether the inquirer may be worthy of his wisdom to share.
I forgot that he's played by the guy who voices Wise in Triple Z. I forgot about that. Their voices are very similar.
Imagine if Wise just acted like a Naxa in Triple Z.
Isn't
That
Wise just like a
would be
goofy
amazing.
dumbass? Or is that more Bell? Which one's more of the dumbass? I know they're both the MC, but like...
I think Bell's more the dumbass. If
No,
Yeah.
it's the player.
Okay.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I know in the scene, there's a scene that like where they're getting interrogated, and Wise is like just... Chili's just like drinking like a coffee and just like hanging out, and meanwhile Bell's like shaking the fuck out of it, like terrified, because the cops are at her door because they're proxies.
Yeah. The scholar never looks
Need
at
to play
flaws
Triple Z.
and measurements, ignoring the flow and shift of time's passage, and uncomprehending students gossip in eager regiments.
I need to go back and play Triple Z again now that they've like further refined the game, got rid of the stupid
He
TV
is
section.
guided by the flow of time, for his work is yet done, yet to implement.
This
Wait.
man is too arrogant, and he
It skipped a
intends
line.
to desecrate Orynyx's accomplishments.
Why? Obviously to drag out class time as a statement, the student's answer seems rather adamant. The stubborn assistant interjects.
I'm going back. Cool.
Not that, right? You're going? The stubborn assistant interjects in a rare display of testament, and the passing sage from another school brings admonishment. Outside the courtyard, the gossip flows into the scholar's ears. He silently gives a grade to every question and argument, but none know the true answer, according to his judgment. End scene.
Holy God. Actually, before I do that, hold on, let me dump a thing in here. Where's the little...
What do you mean?
I guess I can't edit, throw it in exactly yet. Let me back out. Right story.
What are you talking about?
There was... It said I could dump
Backing
two,
up.
like, of the...
You're
Here we
good.
go.
Well, that one's probably the second part of Casters.
True.
Willing to adorn the living. Born with an evil curse, her hand dips into lethal cinnabar and white lead to personally decorate the faces of the dead. Her skills are said to bestow beauty on anyone, even transforming their appearance completely. It sounds like a really bad makeup commercial of just, hey, you can look beautiful forever. They don't mention that you die in the process.
Oh yeah, it's like where like it's like, wow, I feel great. Warning: side effects may include.
Exactly.
God, I love the fact that it's so, I love that dumb shit on late night TV.
Many skills were born out of her seclusion, but it painted her dwelling in a gloomy vision. Only a select few have set foot in this mansion, and the thief and the weaver were two such lucky persons.
The thief and the weaver. Well, the thief is
Cypher and Aglaya.
yeah.
The girl converses with all items in her house, with specimens, tea sets, and even pillows in profusion, as if she can hear the responses of these non-living things.
I have always lived
Good
in
timing.
isolation. Out of courtesy, this is how I practice my words and actions.
I mean, she kind of has to because she doesn't want to like accidentally kill somebody, which
Right, but
not her
also-
fault. Not her fault. She was born with a curse.
Yeah, it's her sister's fault.
It's true.
'Tis hard to believe her explanation. Her face, when talking, shows such gentle disposition that unless she is telling fabrication, she must regard her partners as mere children. She just thinks everybody's a kid.
I mean, she has to treat them like that to not get overly excited, I guess. I'm not sure what she means by that.
Well, I think that there's two interpretations. The first one is that she just kind of assumes that she needs to practice speaking at a small or like a child's level first and then work up, right? But she
Yeah.
doesn't really get the opportunity to talk to people. The other way of interpreting is that she kind of instinctively knows that she's old as hell and just kind
Yeah.
of treats everybody else as being younger than her, despite.
Meanwhile, Tribby's like, "Yay!"
Well, I mean, theoretically speaking, she is older than Trippy because she is from the old world.
I thought that Tribby said she's the oldest one.
Well, yeah, Trippy thinks she's the oldest one, and by the metrics of being in the flame chase, yeah, she's probably the oldest one. But in terms of being in the world, it's highly likely that Casserus was around even before Trivios.
That's true.
Because Casserus was literally reborn when the world reset, whatever the fuck that was. People passed these rumors down within the area of her encirclement. All things became frozen, escaping time's increments. It is an exaggeration, that is certain. People only found an ancient lion's head in a battle's ruined.
Those words are true.
The head itself was nearly dead.
Though they won in fierce battle, the warriors were powerless to turn the tide. It was the embrace where death dwelled that gave early release from their pain.
Man.
Yay, Doom!
We're all doomed here.
Death.
This is how death escapes time. She kept every final embrace hidden in her immortal heart. Out of her numerous works, butterflies and flowers often stand out stark. Ignite them and you can almost hear the maker's remark. Even in death's silence, her sound can still be heard.
And that sound is...
Okay.
It is a gift greatly treasured by the maiden. Few have the honor to be graced with such work. Only one has the heart to burn such a gift, and the reason she gives is rather far-fetched.
I must peer into all fates unknown.
Aglaia, what the fuck?
Aglaya's like, "Thank you for the gift." Fire. Christ, Aglaya. Aglaya basically is just not human.
I mean, she acknowledges it, everybody else acknowledges it.
Death is abominable in humans' eyes. Apart from my identity, there's nothing about me worthy of praise.
The internet be like, "Bullshit, here's a bunch of fan art."
The power of time is boundless, but there is one thing it cannot conquer. The beloved gold weaver hears this in distress, then tries to teach her the art of weaving and threads. It has been said that the maiden has works that the holy city possesses, for this is the judgment the gold weaver expresses.
Well, none can know all things, nor be skilled in all crafts. Her works are too early for the living to comprehend.
So what, you need to be... Or no, you know what it is? It's one of those fucking, like, album thing, or, like, music things wherein you don't understand what it is until you've died and let
Yeah.
it sit in for a bit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm talking about?
that's right.
Everyone's stories are so deep, I can't keep up. Does Matthew understand this? What is a
No.
god to but a non-believer?
What is a god? Is it a
Omnipotent,
dog
omniscient,
that's
always
up?
speaking out. There's someone like me.
I am God.
I
Bow
am
down.
God. Morgan Freeman just
Well,
walks
what do
in.
you
No,
think?
you ain't. No, you ain't. I mean, here's the question.
I am become the god of this new world.
Okay.
Well, the real question is, what is a man?
Miserable little pile of secrets.
No, 3 kids in a trench coat.
Oh, yeah.
It's 3
Speaking
kids
of,
in it.
apparently the Devil May Cry anime is out. I saw a scene on my Instagram feed. Apparently the U.S. government goes in and fucking, like, literally, you know how we have the 810 Warthog and they do strafe runs? Apparently we just strafe run hell.
That sounds like us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like a
definitely
portal
sounds
opens
like
up and there's just shitload of like F-35s and A-10s, and they just are like, "Look, demons! All right, missile go!" Like bullets.
Well, did it
like,
work? Is the real question.
I don't know. I didn't see the context and I didn't see anything after, but it was set to like a Vietnam era war song that was like, fuck yeah," like that attitude.
So America, fuck yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, not America, fuck yeah. That's from Team America: World Police, but like from the 2000s. But like, I don't remember the name of the song but it's like used in a lot of Vietnam like memes. Like it's used in a lot of them.
Well, anyway.
Freebird.
It was not. It was
Freebird.
not Freebird. Was it? What was it? It was not Fortunate Son either.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
No.
We'll carry on. We'll carry on. Matt, hurry up. We're on a time crunch.
How about you become my god? Please protect me, okay? Oh no.
Oh no, you started a cult.
The cult of Matt.
Why would anyone want to become a god? That's a good question.
Why do
Just
people
in
become
general,
God?
that's an excellent question. Like,
Why would you
that's
want
a whole
to
lot
be
of
a-
work.
Like, the only thing I could really see you wanting to become a god for is because you either have a god complex, obviously, or you're think that highly of yourself for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have super high level ambition, there's not really a reason to become a god.
Even if you do have super high level ambitions, which of those ambitions do you think you're fulfilling?
The one where you want to remake something in your image,
You
and
can
you
do
realize
that the
your
old
image sucks.
way. It'd probably be less work.
You stumped me there to escape the pain to avoid being controlled. I guess to avoid being controlled, because that way it's your guiding fate.
But how do you know you're not being controlled? Gods like controlling other gods all the time. Let's
That's
look at
true.
Loki.
Oh, yeah.
That and the job might
Well-
end up controlling you.
Well, in Thor 2, he's like, "We are not gods." Like, Odin says that to his face.
Yeah, but
Also, I've seen Loki, so that's not entirely true.
Yes, but that's MCU Loki. I don't think I
that's
can
the only
God.
Loki Matt knows.
Good God.
Not the man who tied his balls to a goat.
What the fuck?
Or the
are
one
you
that
on
had
about?
sex with the horse? Or was it the cow? Or was it a goat?
Alright, well, you know what? By the
Actually,
way,
wait, hold on a minute. Wasn't
Think about it,
wasn't Loki the one that gave birth to the six-legged horse?
yes.
8-legged.
Eight-legged.
8 legs.
Didn't he also, what? Loki did a lot of dumb shit. Let's see, Loki... You know what's gonna be suck? If I Google Loki pranks, it's gonna come up with fucking Reddit for MCU. Let's see. Apparently, okay. So let's see.
Well, one of those pranks got rid of one of Odin's eyes. I remember that.
Yeah, he gave birth to a six-legged horse Sleipnir, and he did this by changing into a mare and sleeping with Svadelfari, the very fast and smartest who belonged to the giant that built Asgard's walls and defenses. Okay. This website, Loki didn't have a horse fetish. He wasn't the ancestor of bronies. He did this to help the gods of Asgard skip out on their contractor's bill? What? That's so fucking dumb. Oh, okay, whatever. Apparently, Loki fell into the mercy of the giant Diazi, who turned out liked apples, but really wanted Idun, who created magical apples to make the gods immortal. They threatened to kill Loki unless he bring the goddess them.
Alright, Idun. Right.
Apparently, the gods don't care to have the... brings him back. He transforms into a falcon to bring her home. He pursues Loki. He's fire. Fuck that. That's just too complicated. I don't care.
Let it
That's
be
too much to read
known
on
that
stream.
if you-
That's too much to read on stream.
If you people have ever not heard the original myths that some of these people are referenced to, oh my god, that's a lot of people. But if you've never heard those myths, you're
Go
probably...
look them up.
Yeah.
Go look them up, but also prepare some eye bleach afterwards.
Yeah, there's a lot of... I don't
look
understand.
them up on your work computer.
No. Yeah, like any ancient historical god, just don't look up what they did. Holy shit.
No,
If it's not that they're a horrible human being, they're horrible in the kind of
ways.
quotation mark sense. Just what the fuck were you thinking?
They are horrible at being a sapient life form.
Why do they just
Anyway,
have her
lying cat's travelogue. A thief tells a few stories.
The first story is titled The Golden Apple. It doesn't have to go to the fairest.
Right, Aglaia has a golden apple in the 3.0 trailer, right after it shows the Finon scene in the first 10
Where'd
seconds.
she get an apple?
What? Yeah,
Where'd she get
Aglaia got a golden apple. That's why she's able to, like, survive shit easier. She has more HP.
Yeah, has more HP, more regen. Probably has enchanted golden
Yeah, it's probably
apples, too.
enchanted too, yeah, because it was glowing, I believe.
This explains ever so much about her.
Alright, now I'm looking at 3.0, so
prolonged
give me a minute.
existence.
Oh god, we're really not exiting the book today.
There you go.
That city
Oh, yeah,
was
it is
named
glowing.
Papas, where the golden light of Nessia shines. The golden apple tree sits in the city's middle. Only the fairest can pluck its apples.
By the way, that apple's gold as fuck. Holy shit.
No, really.
Like, it's shiny as hell.
The beauty pageant begins on time as the fair ones stretch their supple arms, trying to pluck the fruits above their heads. Yet every time the apple comes within reach, a breeze blows the fruit away without a trace.
Solution. Ladder.
I also have a question. Where the fuck is the breeze blowing these apples? Can't they just chase them down at that point?
No, I mean, like, it's blowing,
blowing
like,
them
the
straight up.
tree. Like, it's blowing them up. Like, it's like a breeze. You know how, like, a weeping willow, like, it just
Well,
goes
yeah, I
fucking
know
nuts?
how that works, but it says without a trace, so that means that the apple disappears, no?
I guess that's
No,
true, yeah.
wait, the breeze blows them away in the sense of, like, I'm gonna blow you away, Dragon Ball Z style.
So it just blows up the entire courtyard?
Yes. No, it blows up the tree and has to spawn a new one. Like
The
when we're
audience
harvesting, like
didn't
when we
quite
harvest a
understand.
tree in Minecraft, it dies. The whole thing dies, and we have to plant another one for more apples.
Nice. With only one girl left standing there, her future's bland. Yet to her surprise, she finds her arms full of golden fruits, a harvest grand.
The second story is titled Trying to Argue? Don't trick yourself, please.
I will
The
in fact check
city,
myself.
that city is named Idilia, where Circe's roots bury deep and wide. The sophist scholar holds a tortoise aloft, but his theory is common sense bereft.
Here, have tortoise.
Even the best athlete could never catch up to this turtle.
None
Well?
can overturn him in arguments, and he obtains the champion's crown in merriment.
Dang it, Xeno, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yet as he is about to leave, a wind blows the tortoise in front of him, and behold, his paradox becomes truth. To catch up to the turtle, an entire day and night he spends.
So he just sat there waiting for the turtle to come back.
No, he tried to chase after the turtle that got blown away from him, and he can't catch up to it.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so in case the subtext isn't clear, when we're talking about Breeze, this is Cypher yoinking things.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
that makes sense.
100%. Fucking Cypher.
The third story I will tell is titled A Competition in Trickery. Who do you think is the Grandmaster?
Right. That city is named Dolus, where even Zagreus was once tricked. The king promises to reward the perfect lie, wishing to recreate the deceit of the Titan, his grand feat.
The perfect lie. I'm lying to you right now.
Is a gourd. In truth, we are all already dead.
The liars take their turns and challenge, but no one pleases the king because they keep telling the truth whether they realize it or not. At the gust of wind, the girl emerges before the king's face, and when she leaves, the Ari has the king's promise, gold, and a pouch. The others...
Zagreus can only tell lies. And I am Zagreus.
Therefore, this is definitely a lie, because otherwise part of it is true.
Fucking hell.
And if part of it is true,
He's
then
just here to
it's-
cause problems and fuck with people.
Yeah.
She's just the Flash mixed with the Trickster.
No,
By the
you
way,
just
with this-
mixed with me from high school.
Yeah. Stealing everyone's like food and money? What? What do you mean by you from high school?
I will eat
That
anything.
is true.
Please don't eat
The
people's
fourth
food
story
and
is
money.
called You Like Money. Good.
Also, I'm
You
referring
must
to
pay
the presentation of a logical problem to just flummox people for no good reason.
By the way, that's from the trailer.
No. The city is called Mythmas.
Mythimus, I think.
Mythmas.
Whatever.
Where the sea breeze intoxicates the people in delight.
Anything into gold.
Oh boy.
A wealthy penny pitcher says to the Titan that, hey, I'm, what was his name? Midas?
Midas.
King
Midas.
Which is hilarious.
And
that they
I
named
would
a
like to
fucking
touch
car repair-
everything.
Which is hilarious that they named a car repair shop after him. And that car repair shop is usually shit.
Well,
It does turn
everything
your,
they touch
it
turns
does
to
turn into
gold.
gold. It's your money. Goes into their wallet.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
100%.
With the breeze, the rock in his hand turns to gold, but his joy is fleeting to behold. For in one embrace, his wife turns into coins scattered on the soil. I'm sorry, Cypher, did you just rob this man of his wife?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think she
Cypher's
did.
Miss Celia wife.
That just reminds me of this. Do you guys look at Stream VC? I know it's literally King Midas, but like it's this commercial.
Yeah.
From Skills. He howls at Fagosa to recheck the blessing, but sees a girl in hooded passing. Growls hilariously, holding his hand in
Go
hers.
back and check your vault. Some gold may be missing. But your beloved is right there, waiting.
Oh my god, literally.
I saved your wife. Aren't you happy?
Don't worry about it. Your wife's in the vault. It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. She's right there. Fucking hell.
Don't worry about it.
Cypher, you took another long journey.
And we want to hear your fun stories!
The girl with the hood dangles her feet in the bath as 2 gold coins dance and fly between her fingers.
Basically, I visited 4 places, tricked them to my heart's
Need a new
content,
mouse pad.
and came back fully rewarded.
Nice. The girl pauses her words and looks out the window as the light above the Titan's shoulder casts her right cheek
The dawn will
aglow.
never cease, and the thief star wanders in foreign lands. How would you know that I am not lying right now?
I wouldn't, because you are.
Well, that's one. Next card.
What do you want to do next? Your caster's
leave it to
mighty.
you.
Greg, I leave it to you. Pick
Pick
one of the four
Shift it back.
morons.
Shift it back to Matt. Shift it back to Matt.
This is not fuck Uno.
Shift it back. Take that and rewind it back.
Casters? Okay.
Yeah.
A heart unwithered. By the way, one second, I gotta grab my food.
Oh my fucking god.
Okay, animal fact.
To the dead, when she bids farewell, she casts the slate into the fire, an act futile. I have never heard of lands with such customs.
Yeah, but I do have an animal fact, actually.
Nope, Matt's still here. At this time, something drizzles down the slate, full of colors, seemingly tears from the Reaper of Chills. It turns out the
Tears for the
slate
Reaper.
is inscribed with poems, and every phrase is diligently colored with skill.
So, you know how it looks like dinosaurs were kind of declining before the meteor hit?
Yeah.
So, some researchers did a statistical analysis of those findings and realized that the apparent decrease in diversity can be entirely explained by shifting climates causing the fossil record to be poorer for the last 10 million years of the Cretaceous. So, probably dinosaurs were still going strong.
Nice.
Before people pass away, I write down these poems.
Who the fuck is setting off fireworks?
I don't know.
Wait,
That is the
IRL?
limit of the girl's answer, and she only responds with silence or requests.
Yes, IRL, I could
to
hear them.
read these
Fuck,
poems.
why? It's
That's
April.
what we want to know.
What happened today? Nothing happened today. There's no holiday today. It's a fucking Tuesday.
It's tax day. That's the
Oh,
holiday.
this person celebrated finishing their taxes. I think that's what happened.
I hope they're done.
Yeah, me too. What do you guys
Anyway.
say?
As time goes, she finally opens her petal-veiled heart, and the reason behind her reluctance to show her work
My
is
poems
finally
are
clear.
still too green. Not worthy to be art.
It stems from the girl's shame and discomfort. It seems the girl once also loved to imagine with effort, and many wild tales were written on her part. The misunderstanding was what made her cease this art. Well, now I want to know what she did. It was a pair of archenemies who gained fame in the war. One of them burst into laughter after reading the girl's
He and I
poetic
clearly
words.
wish to kill and tear each other apart. But in your eyes, you think we are close, unable to part.
This sounds like a fucking fanfiction writer. Like, oh yeah, these people were trying to kill each other? Oh yeah, they're best of friends.
Yeah.
She did not write poetry as a pastime. It is said that she left great works under hundreds of names. In different times, she even criticized her previous beliefs, making her identity even harder to assume.
She's got pen names.
I still found her weakness after many twists and turns. No matter how fickle her thoughts, she never lost faith in those words, regarding the value of a fragile mortal life. She is heartbreaking and enchanting. She is the fingertips of death, and the ghost of love and poetry. However, those poems have brought her many complaints.
What?
The poems that her hands composed all lack an ending of any kind, and the Maid of Death has no desire to continue them.
This is truly difficult to write.
The girl excuses
My
herself.
duty is to lead the living to the end. I cannot think of a fitting end for a poem to the dead.
Oof. Such is the epitome of lies. One who's grown used to death remains inexperienced with farewells. Therefore, I extend her an invitation in the story belonging to herself. She can leave an ending reserved only for her.
What she brings is not only death.
She thus replied when we first met. And when we will meet again, or when we meet once again for the last time, she again deliberates over this closing statement.
Apart from death, there is something else that is worth remembering.
That is the journey she had walked.
Damn. I feel really bad for casters, man.
Alright, who's next?
Let's go to Mighty. See what his shit is going on.
Ascension of the Lone God Slayer.
To die for glory is not eternal sleep.
This is a lie all custom Krymnos keeps.
The world after death is superior to reality and basks in light.
But such vague poems the Crown Prince would not easily believe.
Cowards who dare not to look death in the eye.
He declared thus on the day he returned from the stream of souls.
Longing for a martyr's heaven and reciting self-deceiving stories.
His words are sacrilege reincarnate, more arrogant than his blood and family.
True warriors should treat that paradise with spite.
Many followers thus stop, no longer following his steps, for they feel this young man's words compared to poems are even more absurd. A body immortal equates not to perfection. The man braved dangers endless, seeking simply to seek his weakness. In his greener days, with more amateur skill, in crises where death denied him even after kills, he learned why curse is synonymous with blessing, for he saw the visage of terror at life's closing. The man seems unmoved when his past is mentioned, having braved death 9 times. He who was once lacking, now excels above everything else, or everyone else, still rising. Is this man just Heracles?
Yeah.
Greg, you're still muted if you're saying anything. Yet, when he is asked if he's still ticklish as he was when he was a child, he does not answer. Today we learn Mighty is ticklish somewhere. It is a wild tale he won't care to opine. It is said that Castle Krymnos has secrets divine, though which the king's power has passed a one-man army by strength in their bloodline.
Therefore, a traitor who does not inherit the throne is a king most infirm.
As the protagonist hears these words, he refuses not, but openly responds.
These are not rumors unfound. But will they matter if my deeds eclipse those of all other kings, achieving glory beyond?
Good point.
Never turning back in war, he seizes all our glory.
That rumor in the war camp of fury often casts a shadow on the man's heart, indestructible and fiery. When campaigns become mired in terror, he sends his army to places safe and secure. Yet he alone goes to fight, knowing death can touch him near. The criminal and detachment who follows him in livery all die in bed devoid of glory. They have their share of grudges upon death, but the man has no regret. None necessary.
Your glory lies not in death, but in my hands.
Damn.
The dust settles and strife calms. A deathly quiet covers his father's realm, and the man alone returns home. A question seems to sound from shadows passed around.
Did you already walk that flame-chasing road, O King?
Atop the throne, the man mutters alone.
There's nothing else worthy of the hunt, for I am the blazing fire at the journey's end.
Man. As it has been foretold, he killed the king to become a king, and killed the god to become a god. His destiny, his eternal destiny, is to be crowned in blood.
Conclude.
Nothing.
No, that's it.
Alright, who's next?
Aglaia. Because I feel like his is going to be funny again.
Save the best for last.
Yep.
Elegy of Beauty and Ugliness. In the past, when strife swallowed the earth, and schemes disrupted the heart of friends, the maiden who was yet a weaver was wrapped in a cocoon most grand, untouched by the storms sweeping through the land.
She's gonna become a beautiful
She spent
butterfly.
her youth in a palace of romance,
Yeah,
surrounded by treasures, and even maids beautiful beyond belief, often bathing in the praise and admiration of wealthy nobles. Till warfare set the threads aflame, and the devoutly praying priest was slaughtered before the altar. The family adored by all perished before their courtyards, and the blood of her maidservants dyed her golden mantle red. The golden threads covering her eyes snapped, and the concealed truth finally appeared firsthand.
Before a strong wind, a weak nobility cannot stand.
Woof. Not wrong.
Yeah.
In the long, endless war, the Goldweaver family was shattered by the sword, and the legacy of romance became a tragedy. She had a broken mansion and an empty house, the nobles who once loved her, none now willing to help her. All the romance, talent, peerage, and beauty, what use are they in a disaster? Wimps. As she closed her eyes in melancholy, the maidservant pushed a broken loom to her
Would you
earnestly.
like to pick up the shuttle again and weave for me?
The young miss wanted to laugh, but could only respond with shock, for the maid's face was now covered in scars as she fought to protect her mistress's safety.
Though I can no longer see, I still want to don the garments you weave.
Man. And yet, when she heard this, the desire to weave overcame her fears. Therefore, in the broken shadows of a house, the loom of romance moved once more. The garments were exchanged for copious gold, buying back her renown old. Yet besides this mistress most noble, there was always a blind maid in tow, dressed in luxuries unfitting. As the weaver attended banquets, the praise of her youth returned.
Majestic lady must be Nestia in the flesh.
But harsh words also
joined. Quite
joined.
reduced by a maidservant, so unsightly.
Wow, fuck you guys.
This is why nobles are assholes. The maidservant apologized in embarrassment, lowering her head.
Mistress, I have brought you shame.
Yet her mistress brought her to the middle of the ball, having her garbed in the latest dress as a little model. She now knew that praises and ridicule were both untrue, and that romance cared not for beauty of the face. The golden thread of gods exists only within.
That's nice of Aglaya.
Aglaya's like, fuck you, people!
Fuck
She's
you, stupid
mine!"
assholes. She's my friend.
She no longer she is no longer that helpless girl. She already carries the god's authority and walks the hero's route. But she still cannot hold back the calamity of strife. The unsightly maidservant blocked the dagger aimed at the mistress's soul, and blood once again dyed red something she wove. That was the last time in her life the maid's face she clearly beheld. Man!
No, she was like, "Hey, fuck you. You're gonna be. She's gonna be. I'm gonna be nice. Everyone's gonna be nice to you." And then someone's like, "I'm gonna kill Aglaya." She protected Aglaya.
Yes, thank you for catching up with the rest
Fuck's
of the class.
sake!
When sewing the death shroud, she could not control how her fingers shook, often pricked by the needles sharp and acute. Thus the pristine white cloth wept with tears of blood and gloom. And when the day of the funeral came, she saw the commoners' endless graves, and the nobles dressed in silk, frolicking in the groves, and sadness overwhelmed her in droves. Is this the destiny unleashed for their act of chasing God's core flames? She kneels before the divine statues and prays to Menestia of romance to look at these garments soaked in blood from the flames of war.
Why are those that appear so fair in fact ugly in truth? Why do faces unsightly contain souls cut from noble cloth? Why can the blind see the light? And why do those with eyes only see night?
Oof. Too real.
Yeah. Don't say to me that that's when I fit under there.
The dying god remains silent.
If you no longer have the power to see, then with my destiny,
She grasps the burning core flame.
I'll exchange for eyes that can see everything.
Warm liquid flows from her eyes that now see all. In that instant, she is sure that she saw the manifestation of beauty.
One to go on her. And one to go for us. Come here, Naxa.
See what this man's got.
Expose
Expose
the
the
divine.
divine.
Do not make him your enemy, even though he may seem frail and weak.
When a valiant warrior from afar assaulted the grove, he shattered their strength with only his eyes and pointing stick. He sent them running, pride cut to the quick.
He may seem cold and unkind, but he sees through human emotions with just a peek.
A student was troubled by love's trials and aches. With one sentence, he guided them away from heartbreak, letting destiny's strands weave a path to love and happiness' shape.
All is science, and human wisdom knows no bounds. Both martial prowess and emotions are knowledge that can be found.
He firmly believes that all things can be deciphered, barred to those who peek. Or bared to those who peek. Those that cannot be solved are not mysteries infinite, but only questions waiting to be answered, not obstacles bleak. For those who only protect themselves, the world cannot see their intentions. In sorrowful parting hours, the scholar refused trifle matters. Isolated in a corner of his library, he fiddles with instruments of crafters. Colleagues suspect him of creating new blasphemies, while students believe him to be making new miracles of mastery.
At this point, same difference.
The curious ones gaze through the window, beholds, seeing a small wooden bird on the table wobbling in comfort, swaying in the scholar's hand, an endearing cohort. Man has made a bird. I ask him, seeking his motive for this effort, but the scholar, usually so quick to retort, refuses to answer, seemingly coming up short.
I wanted a friend, okay? Is that so much to ask?
Creatures that through his hands pass all change their functions, invoking wonder peerless. He once removed his hat as others witnessed, then walked on the hat over water with success. They also saw him light a flare, fearless, instead creating chilling cold air, not so harmless. That bird was once a toy and now his messenger, or perhaps still a toy. And that is the magic trick of his success, and one of his teaching that he will
Nothing
profess.
in this world is ever born fixed.
Nice. The far-seeing must be far in thought. His teachings are like prophetic delight, yet he opposes prophecies with all his might. It's a time he refrains from looking back on, traveling all lands, chasing prophecies, trying to prove the priest's words were not unchangeable for sight. Countless times he exhausted his crafty slaves, wanting to rescue the doomed and resurrect wights, wanting to shame the prophesized heroes of magic and might, wanting to sway promised villains to a course more upright. Perhaps fate could not guess his goals, but it could trample over his plans overnight. At the end, all of his challenges flicker out, but he persists still in endless plight. His ambitions are too lofty, and so failure falls him never too softly. Though moments of defeat felt increasingly common, the scholar learned one thing that he has never forgotten. Respond to defeat with a smile haughty. Not from optimism, nor from a defeat of heart.
I think this misfortune's severity.
The laughter oozes with self-mockery, but is also full of a different emotion.
If this road is easy to walk, then future generations will not praise my name in piety.
Screw future generations.
A is his ambition.
This road is easy to walk, it's boring.
That's effectively what he's saying. This is boring to go through this too easily. I'm going to make this road hard as fuck so everybody congratulates me for it.
Interesting, there's still 2 to go at minimum. There's still 2 to go for him. So we haven't seen the end of Anaxo.
Well, yeah, but I thought My Days was also near the end. Why don't his didn't move?
Don't know. Oh, because it moved on. I don't. Hi, ma'am.
Cass, only at the very end did I realize she was nothing like the rumors. I'm really curious. Is everyone like this? Having a side that no one else sees? Are you the same?
Well,
I have all the sides. I am actually a 6-faced dice. You just didn't realize that.
D20.
You could use my head to play D&D.
So what are you, a Minecraft mob?
Sure. Chicken jockey. There you go, chat. I mean...
the last option.
Wait, does that mean Matthew's story will end? Then I won't be curious anymore. Don't let it end. Right now, I'm not really in the mood to dig too deep. Cass's story is stepping into the next chapter, and I can't quite explain how I feel. It's like sadness, but also like some strange relief. That's called the indigestion. If someone were to ask us, how should we tell her story? Her embrace was really nice. Sucks to be you guys. I got to hug her.
This one's
actually.
no.
I was reading a fan fiction where, for whatever reason, Cass got de-aged for a bit.
What?
Yeah, no, but you still have the curse power, right? And so
Oh.
Mighty, in an effort to comfort little Cass, at some point gives her a hug, proceeds to die, comes back, and then adult Cass asks for a hug too, so he gives her another hug and and like dies again. Then like Phylon's like mocking him for dying twice, and he's just thinking to himself, "Yeah, well, I got to hug Castrus. You can't do that, buddy."
Well, sure he can. He just can't do it twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Ma'am?
If you say
No.
that, then that's a trustworthy statement. I'd love a hug from her too. In future stories, Matthew doesn't have to go out of their way to avoid any endings for my sake. Okay? Even though every story has an ending, I still wish everything could start over again.
Well, I can do that, man. It's called I can go play on an EU server.
That's a hell of a sentence, right?
God, imagine
there,
I like choose to spawn to EU for some reason. I have to go through all of this shit again. That'd be insane. Whoa!
You have composed a hell of a saga.
Yeah, well, they're gonna add more later. No. Switch to...
You have abandoned the hat?
Oh, just for a minute while I get, like, my Eidolons.
Yeah, what Eidolons?
Oh. I do love that they have different animations. It's really nice that they added that.
It is.
I saw the Mem appears, and Mem's like, "Hey!" And she's like, "Oh, bye." Like, she doesn't even fly off screen to disappear. Her model just goes away.
She ascended. Her planet needed her.
Build guide. I mean, I can warp for these guys. Cough.
Well, you can right now, even.
Right now on Dragon Ball Z.
Do I have enough for standard pull?
No.
Nope.
I have a lot. No.
I have 6. Can I do any exchanges?
Well, anyway, there goes our fucking hour, like I thought we were.
Yeah.
Going to do.
Damn.
Well,
Man,
it could have been worse. We could have done
surprised.
this last night.
Oh my god.
Or on Sunday.
That's true.
I mean, we could have done this last night.
That is also true. I had the suggestion or the thought, but I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, chat, that's gonna be it for us tonight. Thank you all for coming by and hanging out with us while we read the stories. I know it wasn't a very action-packed stream today, but you know, it's good to learn more about just the characters. It's sometimes nice to take like a slower day. What do you guys think? What do you think of the stories we learned today about our characters, about our friends? And
everybody's even more traumatized than I thought they were. Let's go!
Yay! Greg,
the trauma pool is endless.
Greg, what's a
Anaxa remains interesting.
Did you get the game working yet?
No.
Oh my god. Alright, well, that's gonna do it for us, everybody. We are gonna head out. Good night!